Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of the CFTV preview show, the Chelsea Fan TV preview show with myself and Kev. Um, Before we start off the show, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Match Bingo. Guys, we've been going on about Match Bingo for a little while now, but for those of you who don't know, it's bingo, but it's not normal bingo. All right, so usually you have numbers. This version doesn't have numbers, so it could be corners, goal kicks, any sort of stats that could be added up on a bingo card. They put it on a bingo card, and the more things that happen in a match that you have on your card, the more money you make. It's as simple as that. It's literally £2 to enter. It's nice and simple, guys. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to play bingo. Have a bit of fun with your mates, and let me know how it goes, guys. We are waiting to hear from the next winner from Chelsea Fan TV. So click the link below. It does help the channel as well. It shows Match Bingo that we are helping them. You've got to be over 18 to play. But Kev, we are getting into the preview, my friend. How are you?
Oof, wow. Where should we start? What an absolute blinding game. And to be honest with you, never expected it. Free flowing attacking football, fluent attacking football. It was like a basket. If you want to like match a basketball match to similarize a basketball match to football match, that was the example. End to end, end to end, end to end. Brilliant, brilliant game for the neutral. But for myself, wasn't good. I was shouting when we went 3-2, 3-2 down. I literally walked upstairs in anger and I was swearing. Mrs. is going mad at me saying, "Kevin, you need to calm down." And I literally heard it. Penalty. I was like, "Wow!" Run back downstairs. Palmer bangs a penalty in. I thought that was it, a draw. Literally go to walk out the room. Palmer, look, goal. I was like, "Wow, what the hell's going on? What a game!" Like, I can't imagine the limbs at Bridge yesterday night. What an absolute spectacle of the game. But for me personally, I'm not happy with it. As much as we got the 3 points, I'm not happy. What the hell was that defensive performance about, mate? It was all over the place. It was shocking, bad to see. Same mistakes as you usually see every week. Crossing the box, Fernandez at the back post where he was marking him. It's the same things every single week you're talking about. So we were lucky to come away with the 3 points, bro. Okay, as much as we got the 3 points against Man U first win in 6 years, yeah, should be happy about it. But for me, it's more deep than that. We've got to be able to defend better than what we've been doing. Like last night, it was abysmal. Some of the stuff
Yeah.
that we was doing.
You know, after the game, I had to have a pint to celebrate. I said, "Listen, I mean, it just doesn't matter what the time is. I'm having a drink. I've got to have at least one pint. This is unbelievable for me. The best late winner
Ever.
I've ever seen
It's
in
ridiculous.
football, ever." Kev, I cried, mate. I cried. I was in tears. I couldn't believe it. I
Uh,
was driving home. Rachel gave me a lift home, and I just kept saying, "How? How have we done that?" But no, you're right. I mean, from a tactical point of view,
it was a mess from
and
both teams.
defensively, it doesn't look great. But again, I'm putting this
Entertainment.
down. The
Mm,
majority of these defensive mistakes, the goals we conceded, I'm putting it down to the players, man. I'm sorry.
mm,
For me, the
awful.
first goal, Caicedo, it's obvious. It's an obvious individual error.
Yes.
And for me,
Mm,
that's not a Pochettino problem. People say that Caicedo should be given guidance. Doesn't matter what system you're playing, you've got to make the decision yourself. And ultimately, this guy's a top player who hasn't been making these mistakes all season, Kev. He's very capable of playing the right way, and he made the mistake. And then I also think that I think Petrovic made a mistake as well with the second Garnacho goal. I don't think he should have come out as much. I think he should have just stayed where he was and tried to save it rather than trying to come out and catch a ball that he couldn't catch. So two individual mistakes. I think defensively as well with the Fernandez goal, you could argue that, but maybe that was. I don't really know. I don't know if that's individual. That was just poor marking. So maybe that is more on the coaching. But mate, it doesn't matter how you do it. And that's what people always said to me at the beginning of the season. I don't care how we get results, Alex. just that we get results. And then what happens is you get the result and people still find something to complain about, and they still find a reason to bring this team down. It's like, you got what you were asking for. You got the result. Not only did you get the result, you got an unbelievably entertaining game, which is something else football fans ask for. What more could you ask for? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you've got a heart condition, it's probably not ideal. But apart from that, it's an entertaining game. It's a win at home. It's fantastic, mate.
Well, it's not. It's as much as I don't like to sound negative. Yeah, we have to try and be positive about every situation and every game, especially when you've just beat Man United. But it's not sustainable, Alex. Like that defending, like it's
Just
horrible.
let
It's
Palmer score a hat
disgusting.
trick every game, Kev. That's all you need. It's fine. He'll do it every game. Well,
I,
so far he's doing
I
a good job.
I just want to be positive out. And we was 2-0 up, Alex. Come on, man. We was 2-0 up. And the way we went behind, I was disgusted. I was like,
No,
I
I
was
was as well,
fuming.
mate. I
Yeah.
was.
And we've gone Palmer once again. Let's talk about this guy, Cole Palmer. I can't think of a player who's started so well for Chelsea since Hazard. He's literally that caliber. He's going to be that bracket player for us. Every time he gets on that ball, it looks like he's making things happen. And last night again, he's saving Chelsea. We can like twice in a week he saved Chelsea. That's that. We've got 4 points because of him this week. So this guy, man, like there's been rumours of him getting a new contract. Just give him whatever he wants. If Sterling's on 320, double what he's getting, give him double what Sterling's getting because he's definitely doing double what most players are on the pitch right now. He's been absolutely phenomenal, and wow, out of all the signings we've made, he's been definitely the shining star. So fair play to him for, and thanks if you're watching this, Cole. Thanks for saving our necks, mate. Because last night, wow, was 3-2 there, and the coolness of that penalty, like last minute, like I couldn't even watch the TV, and I turned last minute and Sin just rolls it into the corner. Like this guy has got no fear whatsoever. He just plays football how it's supposed to be played, and I think if you had a more balanced team around him, mate, which we should be able to get for next year. If you get an Osimhen or someone playing with him like that, we've got 40, 50 GAs next year with a top striker. So we should be looking to build a team around him for sure.
100%. And I just want to touch on what you said about Cole Palmer and Eden Hazard. I was speaking with Charlie yesterday about this, and I said that Palmer actually, from what I saw yesterday, I never saw Hazard do anything like that. I saw Hazard win us the game at Anfield. I saw Hazard carry us, in huge games, being that the guy that we go to. I saw him score winning goals, but I never saw hat tricks, not like that. I've never seen Hazard carry the team game by
He did
game.
score 2 penalties, though, to be fair, but
It's a
still,
hat
a
trick.
goal's
It's
a
a hat
goal.
trick, Kev. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
a goal's a goal.
It's a hat trick.
You
And by the
can't.
way, I said this last. I'm not criticizing Hazard. I love Hazard. I'm
There's
just
no
saying Palmer's is
there's
different.
there's zero comparison right now. Let's have it right. But what I'm trying to get to is give it time. He's 21 years old. Look at what he's doing now. Just imagine in
But
another
Kev,
five
Kev,
years time
you
when
don't
he's at
need
his
to say
peak.
that about Palmer. Everyone knows he's good enough. It's not him you need to defend. It's the
Mm.
rest of the team, because
Yeah,
they're the ones that are also on the 7-year contract. And by the way, I don't defend all the players, but certainly a number of them deserve some time. Petrovic is a guy who made a mistake yesterday. I think he's been decent apart from that, to be honest with
it's,
you.
there's a mistakes in us every single game, Alex, and
Yeah,
it's it's I'm on a bit of a balance now. It's tactical decisions as well as players
of
because
course it is, of course
because
it is.
tactics is what I'm talking about. Where your back four yesterday for one of their goals, our back four. I think Gusto was up the pitch there. Our left back was there. The Sarti was over there, and Badashir was over there. Like there was no defensive structure. There's literally when the team's in the counter, you're meant to be running back in a straight line. There was no line. There was no defensive line yesterday. It was just everything's everywhere, and that comes from the manager setting up a structure. But when Calzado gives away a ball so cheaply, it's on the player. When Cucurella is in no man's land for Bruno Fernandes's cross, while Bruno Fernandes had a tap in, that's another error from the player. So it's just a mix up of both. And come on, man, we shouldn't. It's just frustrating because we got the win yesterday, but it overshadows again another bad performance. We've got to be real with stuff. It was a shambolic performance,
Yeah,
Alex.
but
And
that's it's not.
if we were sat here and we lost 3-2, would have been a different story. So I'm not going to change my mentality to say,
Of course you
oh, what happened
should. Of
was.
course you should, Kev, because we
Because
did win.
no, yeah, but I've got standards, Alex, and what I've seen
Standards.
yesterday,
We won.
it's not good. Doesn't
We
matter.
won.
Doesn't matter, Alex. Doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter how you win,
We won. Best we
as
won, but
long as you win.
the
That's
performance
what
is
everyone tells
awful.
me.
So was that performance good yesterday?
It was enough for a win.
Was it good yesterday? I'm asking you simple. Was that defensive structure, was that performance good enough for you? If it is, your standards are in the mud because that it's simple as that.
Kev, all I'm saying is
A win's
what
a
we
win.
did
A win's a win,
yesterday
yeah. A
was
win's a win.
better than what United did. And as long as we do that game by game, I haven't got a problem, mate.
Not
I don't have a
sustainable,
problem.
Alex.
Of
Like
course, we
Alex,
need to improve defensively.
if you put a performance against a better team than United, we lose. Simple as that. Burnley played better than Man U yesterday. They did. No, they did. Burnley with 10 men played better than Man U because they had a structure. You looked like Burnley knew what it was doing. Man United, it was just get the ball and run down the flanks. Get the ball to Garnacho, get the ball to Anthony, get down the flanks and get us, which worked. There was no pattern to play. There was nothing from Man United to suggest that they had a game plan. With Burnley, it was clear to see what they was doing. They was getting the ball in the box. They was defending deep, and it was hitting us on the counter. Man U yesterday, I couldn't tell you what they were trying to do. So for them ones, it's not sustainable. The kind of football we're playing.
No, look, obviously, Kev, it's not sustainable in that sense. And obviously, when I talk about the fact that I'm happy about the win, I'm not oblivious to the problems that we have. But we have to, for me, and I'm a very logical guy, you've got to take emotion out of this win and use that emotion to kick on. And I think that's what Pochettino said after the Burnley game. He didn't feel like there was enough emotion. We weren't showing enough fight. We weren't showing any grit. We weren't running. And we did that against United. Even if we would have lost 3-2, we did give 110%. The players did give everything. And we just had that extra bit of quality at the end. Madueke winning us that penalty. I thought Chukwuemeka was fantastic when he came on, and Sterling was okay. He seems to be making an impact off the bench as well. But what I don't want to see is a team that's not trying and not getting results, was what last season was. And that is why this season I'm willing to defend this team more because, first of all, they're a young team. We know that. Second of all, they don't have experience playing with each other. And I don't think they're good enough, to be quite honest with you, Kev. Not when we don't have a full fit squad. I mean, we put Nkunku and Chukwuemeka in the starting 11. It's a different conversation. You add Lavia to the conversation. You've got even more depth in that midfield. And maybe Caicedo doesn't start. Maybe he doesn't make the mistake because Lavia's in that position. So, I mean, it's all a game of ifs and buts to an extent, but then you have to go based on what you see. And I see a team that's playing for the manager. I see a team that cares. But I also see a team that don't know what it's like to play for Chelsea. They don't know what it really means. And they're slowly learning that
well,
this is not a process that takes 6 months. And it's not a process that takes a year. I'll be honest with you, Kev. It's not going to take 2 years. It's going to take 3, 4. But for me, as long as I see progression every season, I will not have a problem. All you can ask for as a football fan is progression. Okay, that's all you can ask for. If we go from 12th and then we get conference and then we get Europa and we get Champions League, I'm not going to be sitting here saying sack Pochettino because year on year we're improving. But people seem to think just because of what we were under Abramovich, which we're not anymore, it's the blatant obvious truth that we're entitled to finish top of the league every single season and win all these trophies every season. Let's not forget as well, Kev, all of the other teams around us are getting better and we've regressed. So it's not a case of they were here, we've dropped down, let's come back up. We dropped, they got better. So we've got to close that gap while the other teams are also improving. This is not a simple process. And that's why, again, I think we're doing a decent job in terms of the fighting aspect. Do I think we could play better football at times? Yes. Should we get better results? Yes. But again, that the young players. If we're doing the same thing next season, Kev, I won't be quite as patient. But for now, let's look at what we're working with. Let's build on it. And if it doesn't improve, then I'm happy to say get rid of the manager, get rid of the players, board of directors, all of that. But I want to see it first. Give him the chance.
What was that, Alex? Sorry?
Fucking hell. Did you not listen to anything I said, Kev?
Sorry, carry on. Sorry, carry on, mate. Sorry. Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, going off what you said, I did listen. I just.
What did I say, Kev?
Got some. I'm talking about the process. I got some background noise here from the kids, so I apologize.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's still me. I did. I was telling to shut up. Yeah. So yeah, just going off what, yeah. So it's going off what you saying. Progression wise, I can't really see much progression from last year. To be fair, mate. Yeah.
You can't see progression. Let me ask you this, Kev. Let me ask you this. Do we have a better mentality this year than last year?
Fine. You're gonna make me finish what I was going to say. I can't see much progression. That's the key word.
So you see progression then?
Well, it's not progression. Come on, man. Like Alex, we're 11th for the league.
It's black and white. You either see it or you don't.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather not answer that question. Let's just finish the season, see where we are. I want to be positive about stuff, but Alex, but like I said, these performances are not giving me any encouragement to come on this panel and just lie and say, yeah, it's brilliant, the progressions, the process is working, this and that, because it's blatantly not, Alex. Like,
I didn't say the process is working. I said give the process time.
Yeah, it's been given enough time. It's been given 2 years, Alex.
No. Because it's not been given 2 years. How has it been given 2 years? Has Petrovic been given 2 years? Has Gusto been given 2 years? Has Disasi been given 2 years? Caicedo, Fernandez, Jackson, Alma, all of these players. It's not even been a year, Kev, for some of these guys.
Disasi could be given another 3 years, bro, and he's not good enough, bro. Come on, man.
I personally, I don't really love Disasi, but again, for me, the standard's the same for everyone. Give him a little bit of time, and then judge him after a second.
He's a squad player. He's a squad player at best, but yeah, you are right with some things you're saying. But all we can do is, like I said, be patient. And like I said, my patience is gone. But I think this next transfer window, let's see where we're at then. But yeah, going into the Sheffield game, Alex, just go into bit of the preview. What are your thoughts on tomorrow? How do you feel we can get at Sheffield? How do you feel the key players for them who can get at us? And what's your mood going into the game? Do you think the 3 points are there for us on Sunday?
Well, to be honest with you, I was reading some of the stuff Pochettino said about Sheffield, and about everything. He said there's nine matches obviously remaining for Chelsea in the Prem. And the only game that he's thinking about is Sheffield. Great, let's get the 3 points there, and then we want to think about qualifying for Europe. But any team that's trying to stay up, and they still have hope that they can stay up towards the end of the season, Kev, you know what that's like, mate.
It's tight.
I mean, I'll never forget. For me, West Brom. Do you remember when West Brom stayed up with Darren Moore? Oh no, I think they actually went down. They went down that season. But I remember watching the Tottenham game, and if I'm not wrong, Pochettino was the manager at that time. This is 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I'll never forget it. West Brom, they were going to go down, and somehow they managed to pull a result against Tottenham. I think they won 3-2 or something like that. But what that shows, that's just one of the examples that when a team knows that they just got to pull it out of the bag, then they just dig deep, man. And home games as well for Sheffield. I mean, they got a cracking home atmosphere. Bramall Lane is a really, really good ground, quite an intimidating ground as well when they get going. And Kev, although a lot of their stats are some of the lowest in the league, the lowest in terms of the goals they've scored, the assists, the shots. I mean, they're all the worst in the league. The only percentage that they are first for is saves in the Premier
Yeah,
League, which is understandable because they concede so
they
many shots.
they are absolutely awful. But one thing I can say about them is the last 3 games they have signs that are in signs of improvement, and that's something that we wouldn't be saying. I didn't think um, they would before the international breaks, but since the international break, they've drew against Fulham last week, 3-3, got 3 goals against a good team there, and they've also drew against who else is it? Fulham and Bournemouth as well. So Fulham bought Bournemouth. Obviously, last night at Anfield it went to 1-1, and I was really surprised if it scored in the 65th minute. But obviously, Liverpool, we all knew the see it out, and they got the 2 extra goals to bring it to 3-1. But come on, man, like they're showing they're showing signs of improvement towards the business end of the season. So they cannot be taken for granted. It's going to be a very difficult game. Even we all know Chelsea, an away day, Sunday evening, we've been there, and the guys have got to be super motivated. They've got to be super up for this game. I think Sheffield are going to be looking to kick 2 lumps of shit out of us. It's going to be physical. It's going to be horrible. If you can't get that part of the game done, I believe they're going to want to get balls into the box and test us. Because think about it, what are we crap at? They're not going to want to play beautiful football. Yeah, they're going to want to hoof in the box. It's going to be a horrible game. If we are not up for this game, we've lost it. And it wouldn't be a surprise to me if we go there and we play the way we can do. Like the attacking football we seen last night in glimpses was really good. We go there and show that side of our game. I'm sure we'll win. But if we try and do this pass out the back and the slow football, Sheffield would be a more of a difficult opponent than what we think they may be.
Yeah, who would you start up top? Like wingers, I think Jackson's an obvious start, but I mean, in terms of the wings, who would you start on the wings?
Gallagher scored last night. Yeah, scored last night. But that's the only thing he did once again. He's got to be, for me personally, the only reason why he's still in the team is because he's got the captain's armband. Their third goal came from his mistake once again. There was a simple pass in front of him. You must have seen it. Simple pass just there. What did he go and do? Hoof it into the freaking stand. They get a throw in and get a goal from it. It's just not good enough, Alex. I'd start Madueke on the right. No, I'd start Mudryk in the 10. I'd start Palmer on the right and Woodwake on the left, or Palmer on the left, or Mudryk. It'd be them 3 behind Jackson. I just think Gallagher needs to be as bad as it is in being the captain at the moment. I just believe there's better players for us in those positions in the second areas. So for me, it'd be Mudryk, Madueke, and Palmer behind Jackson.
I completely agree with you. Madueke deserves a start. He made such a good impact.
Impact last night again.
Yeah, brilliant impact when he come off the bench. Obviously winning us that
Chukwuemeka as well.
penalty.
Chukwuemeka made the impact as well.
Well, I wouldn't start Chukwuemeka just because I don't want him to get injured. I think for me, if we need a goal at Bramall Lane, bring him on as a sub. And I would say the same for Sterling. Sterling's had a great impact off the bench over the past 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally despise him as a player. I don't have anything against Sterling personally. I think he's a horrible player. I hate watching him. I don't like the way he competes for the ball. I don't like the way he's not clinical enough for me. I don't think he's creative enough. I can't see him dribble. I don't see him really outpacing many people. I just don't see it. And for me, Mudryk, I just, for me, he had a good game against United. I was annoyed that we took him off, but again, the decisions obviously work. So again, I'm not going to criticize that. And then Palmer is obviously a no-brainer. In terms of the defense, Kev, I mean, would you make any changes there? Because we're just leaking so many goals.
There's nothing to say. This is what we've got at the moment. We haven't got much options really. We've got options, but they're all injured. So it's what we've been left with, and it's Disasi and Chukwuemeka. No, Disasi and Balashile. And they're both at the moment. They've been really sloppy. Positionally, just seems like we're very open to counter attacks when they're playing. But this is what we've got. There's nothing we can do. Gusto, he'd have to be down the right. He came off again last night. I just don't think the guy's fully fit at the minute, but we're just playing it because he's our best option, and he'd have to be Cucurelli on the left. But that's all we could do, really. That's the only options available to ourselves.
How do you see this game going, Kev? I mean, I'll be honest with you, initially looking at it, especially looking at Sheffield's recent fixtures, I mean, they're leaking goals for fun, mate. Their goal record's worse than us in
It's
terms of how many
rubbish.
goals they've actually conceded in the past 5
Brighton
games.
scored. Brighton scored 5 against them. Newcastle scored 8 against them. Arsenal scored 6 against them. City scored 5 against them. So, but I am under no illusions that it's going to be the same for us because this is Chelsea. What do we do best? Let ourselves down. So I'm not going there thinking it's going to be. I'd love it to be a 5 or 6-0 because we're both going to the game. Cold Sunday night in Sheffield, and it's going to be a long drive back. Everything else, but I'm under no illusions that it's going to be an easy game. I just want us to go and get the points, even if it's a 2-0, 3-0. I don't care. Just go and just do the right things because we all know it's going to be a hard game. It's not going to be an easy game as what just because other teams have gone there and wiped the floor with them doesn't necessarily we are because this is Chelsea, like I said.
Yeah. It's going to be a cagey one, definitely. For me, there's going to be a moment. I think if we approach this the right way, personally, I'll be honest with you, Kev. You know, I don't think the team has the confidence, our team, to go out and outplay teams and then keep playing. We just mentally, I don't see it with the players. I think that's a player problem, and I think Pochettino knows that, and that's why we end up sitting back a lot of the time when we go up because we just try and hold on to what we have. So I would like to see. I would like to see something tactically smart. I just want to see something intelligent. You know, I want to see. I want to see us knowing when to move forward. I want to see us moving forward with intent, not just bombing forward for the sake of it. I want to see some sort of patterns from training. For me, we go into this game, we look to try and open Sheffield up, but we don't open ourselves up too much. And you try and take advantage on the counter with Mudryk, use Madueke's dribbling to open up the space. Palmer, we know what he can do. I think we've got more than enough to win this game. For me, I'm going to make a prediction right here and now. I'm going to say 2-1 to Chelsea. I think we'll start well, like we did at United, and I think again we'll fall off, but I do think we'll manage to get the winner in the end. And if Madueke starts, I'm predicting a Madueke goal as well. So there you go.
Interesting. Just looking for their team now as well. I can't really see any players that I can say. They're absolutely awful, isn't they? They've got Oliver Norwood. He's a decent midfielder.
McBurney, I don't even know
Oliver,
if he's fit. Is
yeah,
McBurney
Matt
fit?
Burney. I'm not sure. Matt Burney, Ben Brayton, decent player at championship level.
Mate,
And
their goalkeeper as well is horrific, man.
yeah,
Have you seen the way he passes the ball out? I
yeah, it's
remember when they
awful.
went to Stamford Bridge. Their goalie is horrific.
Yeah, Cam Archer, he's the key. He's the key man for them. Lads from my neck of the woods in Warsaw. Cam Archer, I know his brother. Dangerous player. If our defense are not fully up for that, he can get in behind it. He can cause havoc with his pace. So Cam Archer would be definitely the key man for them, especially if they're looking to be direct. So that will be the player that I'm worried about. But just looking through that squad there, wow! If we said the same thing against Burnley though, we didn't do a preview for it. But I said if we can't wipe the floor, these like Burnley and Sheffield and Leicester's, there's no hope for us, mate. And this Sheffield team are there. This Sheffield team's there for taking, but we are our biggest. What's the word I'm looking for? Biggest enemies, let's say, because we'll just go and concede sloppy goals off set plays, sloppy crosses, and be chasing the games. I want us to go there, like you said, and to see some basic defending. Once we get the basics right, that will give us all the ammunition to go and get the 3 points, which we definitely need.
I mean, if we get a 1-0 win, I'll be so happy, Kev.
Happy.
Just to get our
Anything.
first clean sheet in a long time.
Oh yeah, seriously, that's what we need. That's what this team needs, a clean sheet. Because we're that used to not, we're that used to having the ball in our nest. That is just coming the norm now. Like it's just the normal. The team needs to get the mentality where a clean sheet against Sheffield and then a clean sheet into the next game, and then we can start building the mentality where they don't want the other teams to start scoring against them. Because right now it's just the same things every single week. It's just normal for him. So let's just go and do the basics right against Sheffield, and let's see where it takes us.
That's it, man. Well, listen, guys, if you have been watching for the whole preview, it's been over 30 minutes, so thank you for watching. We appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. Leave a thumbs up on the video as well if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't, please check out Match Bingo. I promise you, it's not going to be disappointing. Bit of fun. Let me know if you win anything. We've had a few winners so far from the channel. All the best, guys, from myself and Kev, and we will see you after